So what are the most common NBA basketball player injuries? Now, one of my most successful videos here on YouTube is an actual ankle sprain video, and this is commented on a lot by basketball players. Obviously not NBA basketball players, but recreational basketball players. So I figured I'd have a little look and delve into this because it does seem very likely, based on the comments and based on the people watching these videos, that basketball and ankle sprain seems to be like the biggest thing. So I thought I'll see what the research actually says. So I delved in some research, and the research on this was like a 17-year long study, so pretty long. They looked at the NBA through quite a period, and they were looking at all different types of injuries and the incidence of injury that there was, and they were also looking at the types of injuries that there was also occurring as well. Now obviously basketball is very, very fast paced and explosive and very athletic, so it's no wonder that these injuries do occur. I mean, in the last sort of month, I would say, because I watch the NBA as well, I've seen quads tendon tears, complete ruptures, which is a very, very severe injury. I've seen ankle sprains, I've seen finger sprains, and in the past I've seen more serious injuries, ACL tears, ruptures of the Achilles tendon, and so on and so forth. So even though it's a non-contact sport, obviously contact is made, and obviously injuries do occur in non-contact scenarios. Obviously basketball's got a lot of twisting, turning, cutting, short direction changes at high level speed, so it's no wonder that there are ankle injuries and other injuries to boot. So yeah, so let's delve into this research. So no surprise here, the number one injury was lateral ankle sprain. So that's injuries to the outside of the ankle, and like I said before, there's plenty of videos on my channel showing what they are, how you treat them, how to prevent them, and so on and so forth. So you can check them videos out obviously over on the other videos. So lateral ankle sprain out of all injuries was 13.2%. Patellofemoral inflammation was next, which was 11.9%, which is problems around the kneecap. Lumbar sprain and strain, so that's lower back issues, was 7.9%. Hamstring strain, so muscle tear of the hamstrings, was 3.3%. Adductor strain, which is like a groin strain, which LeBron James recently had, was 3.1%. Knee sprain, so this could be sprain to the medial collateral ligament, the lateral collateral ligament, even to the ACL, PCL complex. That was at 3.1%. Foot inflammation, 2.9%. Quadriceps contusion. A contusion is where you get impact, and that's basically with like bruising. That was at 2.7%. Knee and patella contusion, again on the knee itself, so again an impact kind of related injury, 2.5%. Finger sprain, which Anthony Davis recently had, was 2.4%. And it continues, the list continues. And some of the lesser injuries on here, which are quite interesting, was a thumb fracture at 0.3%, strangely a tooth fracture at 0.3%, and an ankle fracture. Of all things considered, ankle sprain's number one, an ankle fracture was 0.2%, highlighting that turning your ankle isn't actually that likely to break it, more likely to sprain it. Now, another thing that was very interesting that we found on this as well is that there might have been an assumption that injuries might have been more prevalent in the older players than the younger players, but actually there was no difference at all due to age. There was no difference at all due to height. There was no difference at all due to playing experience, and nothing due to weight. So they didn't see any real differences across the board on any of them elements. So this is quite interesting because it highlights that players maybe aren't more likely to get injured as their playing career goes on. They aren't more likely to get injured if they're heavier. They aren't more likely to get injured based on their experience, and so on and so forth. So this is quite an interesting finding as well. Now what they did find though is over the years that the injury rate, if you like, the amount of injuries that occurred in games increased. And what they extrapolate, obviously they don't know this, is the faster pace of the game. It has got quicker over the years with more explosiveness. If you look way back, players weren't as athletic, they weren't as conditioned, so they play faster for longer, whereas in the past they may have fatigued and slowed down or had to pace themselves a lot more, whereas obviously there's a lot of rotation within and out of the bench, so again that's going to constitute like very fast paced kind of activity. The other thing is the players have got bigger. Again, you know, there's been teams that have fielded a whole starting lineup of 7-footers before. And these things never used to be that common. It's become something where it's become more of a positionless game. So again, what this highlights is that players have to be really tall, but they also need to be really athletic and able to twist and turn and jump high and so on. So obviously this means that you've got players that are bigger, heavier, and therefore still doing some of the more guard related stuff, which is the twisting, turning related things as well. So this is unknown exactly why, but it does seem like injury rates have actually gone up on the in-game scenarios. So yeah, so that's this for this video. I may well do some more videos actually on basketball related things because I've got a good interest in it, and obviously injury rates are pretty high there. So I'll see you next time.